What's up? So, I noticed that there is still not really a lot of good comprehensive info on YouTube for people that are searching just for maybe some guidance as they are out there looking for their first lift kit for their Subaru. And I get asked a lot actually, like, hey, what kit are you using? What kit should I use? What's out there? Like, what's available? And there's just not a ton of info because this is still kind of like an underserved niche in my opinion. So I just thought that I would run down a couple of lift kit manufacturers that I personally would feel comfortable recommending. There's a lot of stuff out there, but I'll just kind of go over the ones that I would personally put on my car. I may go over a couple that aren't something that I'd put on my car just to let you know that they're out there, and maybe tell you why I wouldn't put them on. But the first one that I'd like to talk about is Primitive Racing. Primitive Racing, they make kits for basically anything and everything Subaru related. They offer kits for late model cars, so anything that's brand new and current, they'll have a kit for you. And they'll have kits that are, half an inch, like just a small half-inch spring lift, all the way up to, 2 or 2.5 inch. They make kits for older Foresters, older Legacies, older Imprezas. They make kits for brand new Outbacks, brand new Crosstreks, all the new stuff. And if you've actually got something that they don't have listed on their site, chances are if you just reach out to them, they'll set you up with something for your car. The reason that I would recommend a Primitive Racing lift kit, I know the owner casually. We're not like good friends, but I know him, and he's a legit rally driver. Blake is just an all-around good dude. He really cares about the Subaru community. He cares about quality. He's not really in the business just to make money, if that makes sense. Like, he would sacrifice profits all day to make a good, decent product, He's not one of those people that's like, well, let's just pump out this garbage because it'll boost our profits by 30%. Like, that's not him. I don't currently have a need for another lift kit, but if I come to a situation where I do need another one, that's who I'm calling. I actually need some lift springs, so I might actually get in touch with him and get those going. I would recommend the Primitive Racing lift kit for anybody that's going to do camping or towing, or if you're just going to be hauling around, let's say, a lot of recovery gear, a lot of off-road gear, extra parts, things like that, because their lift kit, they offer kits that incorporate spacers and springs. So if you don't want to deal with having saggy springs and, you're loading up the back of your car and you get that butt sag, like, that's the kit that you want. Because I hear people complaining about that all the time. Like, oh man, I'm getting butt sag and my car handle's sloppy since I lifted it. And their spring lifts really help combat that. So give them a shot. I know a lot of people that are lifting Subarus. The main reason we do this is because we're trying to get out and enjoy the outdoors. We're trying to get out and go camping. We're trying to go overlanding. We're trying to do things that do require us to put stuff in the car. So I would check them out. The next kit that I would look at is, depends on what kind of car you have, but the next kit that I would recommend you looking into would be LP Aventure. I don't speak French, so I can't pronounce it very good. But they're a Canadian company, and if you own a new Crosstrek, a newer Forester, a newer Outback, probably new Impreza, WRX, they make kits that are very comprehensive They make a strut spacer kit that has literally everything that you need to make sure that your car continues to handle the way that it was meant to from the factory. So different camber correction things are built into their spacers. You've got extended exhaust hangers on most of those kits. You're going to have handbrake extensions. You're going to have what else? Obviously your subframe or multi-link spacers, you're going to have those. So they're just a very comprehensive kit. The other thing that I really appreciate about them is the quality. I see people commenting all the time saying, you know, I was hesitant to spend this much money on a lift kit, but I couldn't be happier that I did, because they're telling other people in the forums and things like that, you know, it showed up, I put it on, and when I was checking it out of the box, like, the quality was just solid, the welds are good, all the hardware is good, there's no chintzy crap, you know, because you're going to only install this one time, you know what I'm saying? Don't be out here, like, putting some garbage on your $35,000 car, bro. You need to do this the right way, man. So check them out. They also, if I remember correctly, they make kits for the Ascent as well. So give them a check, see what they got. I'll actually link their kits in the description. I believe TireRack.com has some good deals on their lift kits, so I'll put that in there. They usually have sales and stuff like that for those kits, but whatever. Now, if you want something that's buck wild and you live in the States, I would check out Anderson Design and Fabrication. I happen to have one of their kits on my car, and I really like it. Those guys, if you've got the money, they'll make anything you want. You want an 8-inch lift kit for your, you know, 2003 Impreza? Well, they'll make it for you. They've built some really, really crazy kits for a lot of awesome builds that are out there. If you guys remember, he doesn't own the car anymore, but the Wandering Foz, that guy, it was like a second gen Forester that was lifted like 6 inches or something on huge tires. The gentleman that owned it lived up in Fairbanks, Alaska. It was kind of a famous car, but they're the ones that built that lift kit for him. Really great stuff. Their kits, the powder coating is good. They've been investing heavily in shop equipment, so new like laser cutting machines, mechanical welding tools. I'm not a welder, so I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I always see them posting like new pieces of equipment that they're adding to the shop. So they make kits just like Primitive. They're going to make kits for anything that you need, whether it's an old school, you know, Subaru Brat or a brand new Crosstrek Sport. They'll get you something that works. They're a little behind on order times right now, just because they're hammered. They're hammered, dude. Like, their orders are crazy. They're just blowing up. They're on, you know, crazy back orders. So if you need something custom built, it's going to take you a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. So check them out as well. There's a lot of other companies out there, you know, a lot of good stuff. You've got SJR. That's another really small company owned by a dude named Scott. Lives up near Seattle, northern Washington somewhere. He's another guy that will make you literally whatever you want. He makes a lot of crazy adapters for mating, like Toyota transmissions to Subarus and just wild stuff like that. Then if you're an Australian or if you're in New Zealand, that part of the world, there is Subaru Oz. That dude, Matt Chaplin, he's very active in all the Facebook groups for the lifted Subarus. He's very knowledgeable. He's been making kits for a grip. He's been doing that stuff for a long time, and he makes a great bunch of lift kits for new stuff, older stuff, and they're just really, really legitimate, well-made products. So I'm, obviously not hitting everything that's out there. You've also got Readylift. Those Readylift kits, they're okay for what they are. I would probably not put one of those on my Outback or Crosstrek or whatever without a few other parts. I would probably add springs and subframe spacers. I've never seen one of those kits show up with the multi-link spacers. I've seen that they're supposed to come with them, but every person that I've talked to that's bought one, they didn't get them in the kit. So I don't know if that's something that they're planning to add or what the deal is. But until I hear more about them including those in the kits, I'd just be aware that you will need some additional parts. But that's also a good spacer kit. I think it's a 1.5 inch lift, and if you have a newer Crosstrek or even a first gen Crosstrek or an Outback, Forester, or whatever, anything within the last 10 years, they'll probably have something for you if you just need a mild lift. But yeah, those are just kind of my top few picks. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm sure there's all sorts of things that you can pick from, but those are the ones that I would look into first. This is by no means a comprehensive video. This is just me kind of rambling a little bit, kind of trying to point you in the right direction. Chances are, if you're on this video, you just don't really know yet what's out there. Like, I've been in this game for a little bit. I've wasted a lot of money on parts and things like that, and so I know where to go when I need something. But if this is new to you, you just don't know what's out there yet, and that's all I'm trying to do, is just kind of plant the seed of like, hey, these are the brands that are out there. Go check them out and figure out if they offer what you want. A lot of it's going to come down to just what brand you want to support, because aside from a few things, a lot of these are going to do about the same stuff for you. One more thing that I'd like to talk about: don't go buying eBay junk. There's some kits out there that are on eBay, and just don't do it. You might save $100, you might save $200, you might save $500, but let me just tell you that the quality is probably just not going to be there. And even if it is, a lot of these kits that are sold on eBay that a bunch of the people are buying here that I see on the forums, those kits are coming from Russia. So they order them, and it takes 2 months for them to show up. So you're waiting 2 months. Then it gets here, you open it up, and you're like, wait, this was defective. Like, this one's missing a stud, or hey, the weld on this is like garbage and it's already falling apart. I'm not putting this on my car. Then you got to send it back, and that's if you can get a hold of the company. That's if they want to give a fudge, or you go to start installing it and it just isn't lining up right. You want to be able to get on the phone with these companies. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've called Primitive and said, hey, I'm running into this issue with this install. Can you kind of help me and make sure I'm just doing this right, or give me a tip? They always pick up the phone. They're always down to help. It's not like, hey, thanks for the money, go F yourself. They want people to get out there and enjoy their products and have a good time. Like, that's what this is about. Same with Anderson Design. I've called, and Patrick straight picks up the phone. The owner of the company picks up the phone, and I say, hey, I need this. What do you think? Hey, I'm trying to install this part, and I'm just running into this issue. What's your advice? He always picks up the phone. I've never had him not pick up the phone, and I always get everything sorted out every single time. You know what I'm saying? That's worth, to me, that's way worth even the $400 I might save on some garbage, lift kit that's probably not engineered well in the first place. And these people, they stand behind their stuff, man. If you happen to break a kit, part of the kit, and it truly is a manufacturer's defect, they're gonna take care of you. Like they're gonna make sure that they get you taken care of, and that you're not stuck with some garbage thing that you gotta repair yourself or whatever. I mean, don't install the stuff wrong. Like, that's a different story. If you go on the Facebook groups and start talking about this stuff, there's a common saying that I see on there a lot: buy once, cry once. Just let your wallet take a hit one time and get those tears out of the way, because you don't want to be down the road dealing with a defect and then having to shell out more money to correct it. I know people who've had this issue. So anyways, like I said, I hope this helps. And if you lift your car, I really do want to see what you guys are doing. I love seeing your guys' builds. I love seeing the adventures you guys go on. Like, I just think this whole thing is so much fun. So let me know what's up. Thanks for kicking it with your boy out here.